New Apple products are imminent, according to Mark Gurman. Johnny Ive designed a Ferrari interior, iOS 26.4 has already been leaked with Siri 2.0, and AirPods Pros with cameras are coming this year? Well, here are the latest Apple news, so get your snacks ready and let's dive in. And speaking of Apple, this iPhone right here looks amazing with our Playful People Pack by Wallrod. I absolutely love these clean designs of everyday moments, especially this skate wallpaper here. And speaking of love, Valentine's is on the way with our new Valentine's Vibes Pack by Splashy, which captures this really cute aesthetic for you and your partner. So check them both out using the links below in our app Wallpapers for iOS and Android. Okay, so first off, according to Mark Gurman's Power On newsletter, we should see new Apple products any moment now. And I'm not just talking about the M5 Pro and the M5 Max MacBook Pros, but a bunch of other products as well. We should see the new iPhone 17e any moment now, as well as a new generation of the budget iPad powered by the A18 chip, a new iPad Air powered by the M4 chip, a new MacBook Air powered by the M5, and of course, the new MacBook Pros powered by the M5 Pro and the M5 Max chips, which apparently are now coming in March in favor for the iPhone 17e and the new iPads to be launching any moment now. Now, all of these updates are mostly chip related, but what's entirely new and very exciting for me personally is the budget MacBook powered by the A18 Pro chip. That one is still rumored for the first half of 2026. So if we don't see it in March, we may see it in May or June at WWDC. So now that I've touched upon the hardware, what about the software? Well, guess what? iOS 26.4 beta actually got leaked even before iOS 26.3 got officially released. And yes, iOS 26.4 is the big update that actually brings Siri 2.0, the one powered by Gemini. Separate video on that right here, by the way. But long story short, this new version of Siri is basically what Apple promised us back in 2024. So it should understand context much better, also have on-screen awareness, much like Gemini or ChatGPT. However, the chatbot functionality of it, that one is said to be coming in iOS 27, so that's actually later. But at least when it comes to these updates, this will be what Apple promised us almost 2 years ago. Aside from that, we'll also get 9 new emojis to play with, such as trombone, a treasure chest, and an orca. And here's a tiny fun fact. Apple usually releases new emojis with 0.4 releases. For example, last year in March, we got new emojis with iOS 18.4. The year before, we had a few new ones with 17.4 and then 16.4 before then. Aside from this, Macworld also leaked even more features of iOS 26.4, such as the ability to autofill credit card details that are stored in Apple's Passwords app, also folders in the Freeform app, and so much more. So from the looks of it, this seems to be the biggest iOS 26 point update that we've had so far. And I'm so excited to try out the new Siri. And speaking of software, Xcode 26.3 was released just a few days ago for developers, and that one introduced support for agentic coding. That's a way for developers to build apps using coding agents such as Anthropic's Cloud Agent and OpenAI's Codex. Now, these agents can basically understand the whole project, they can explore the project, and even build it for you. Plus, they've got full access to Apple's developer documentation specifically designed for AI agents. In other words, if you're an app developer, this is big. Of course, you can just use Claude Code in Terminal or in the native Mac app, which by the way is just excellent, but now the difference is that you can just use Claude directly in Xcode, which makes development far more straightforward. And while we're talking about third-party integrations, here's something actually cool. Chatbots could be coming to CarPlay. That means that you'll be able to use third-party chatbots like ChatGPT directly from your car's Apple CarPlay interface, using your voice. So if you want to find a nice restaurant while driving, simply ask ChatGPT directly, without even taking your hands off the wheel. This is actually amazing and much safer than looking it up on your phone while driving, so I'm a big fan of this. Especially since the Siri chatbot functionality, like I said, won't be launching until iOS 27, so this is something to use in the meantime. And speaking of cars, Johnny Ive, yes, that Johnny Ive has designed the interior of Ferrari's first ever EV, the Luce. And you can clearly see the attention to detail in this interior. It even extends to the key, which apparently features an e-ink display. as soon as you insert it into its slot, the screen's yellow glow appears to seamlessly transfer into the car itself. The central display is a 10.2-inch OLED panel, and apparently the interior has over 40 pieces of Corning Gorilla Glass. The interface seems to be very similar to Apple's new CarPlay Ultra. So yeah, it's very Apple-esque, although Ferrari hasn't officially stated that they are going to support CarPlay Ultra here. Also, fun fact, Ferrari was actually the very first manufacturer to add the original CarPlay to their cars. And who knows, maybe this is what Apple had potentially imagined the Apple car's interiors to look like. We'll probably never know, but either way, I really love the way this looks. And speaking of EVs, Rivian is actually planning on releasing a new Apple Watch app. This will allow users to lock and unlock their car, and it also adds controls for venting the windows, adjusting the cabin temperature, or even setting a charging limit. Tesla has also released their own Apple Watch app around a year ago, and it offers similar functionality. So locking/unlocking the car, opening the charging ports and the frunk, or seeing the current charge level. I think it's so cool being able to unlock your car from your watch. It feels so futuristic. Now, turning up the gears a bit, it seems like Samsung is actually helping Apple with the display of the iPhone Fold. And no, I'm not talking about the manufacturing of the panel, we already knew about that months ago. The news is that Samsung is actually investing in expanding its OLED panel production capacity, which it may use to supply Apple for the iPhone Fold. So they're investing so that Apple can sell more, so that Samsung can then earn even more. Of course, Samsung hasn't officially confirmed anything yet, but either way, I think this clearly points to something more, because until now, Samsung had no need to increase their production capacity. And it's not as if they're expecting the Z Fold 8 to sell significantly more than the Fold 7, because, you know, the changes coming to the Fold 8 aren't actually said to be that big. So this to me clearly points to Samsung just bumping up their production to be ready for the iPhone Fold. Here's another interesting leak. Apparently, the next-gen AirPods Pros that are coming this year will have cameras. This isn't anything new. We've heard about this for quite some time now, but we've had some recent leaks that basically reiterate this. Cameras in order for Apple Intelligence to be able to see your surroundings and just give you better answers. Kosutami posted a cryptic tweet about this on X, and yeah, it's actually not that hard to read between the lines. Now, privacy concerns aside, I think it's a pretty interesting idea. It is a strange one, but Michiko mentioned the same thing back in September of last year. So yeah, this may actually be happening. And apparently this would also help when you're using the Apple Vision Pro, as the Vision Pro would technically be getting new cameras around your ears, right? So that sounds really cool. Even though when you think about it, I'm not sure how Apple would be handling the latency from the AirPods. So maybe that video feed would just be for positioning and essentially much lower risk than what we've got on the cameras, of course, in the Vision Pro. And lastly, if you're from London, you may have noticed that Apple's flagship store on Regent Street has been closed for over a month now. Apparently, it went through a big makeover, or refurbishment as Apple calls it. And now, after 1 month of renovations, the store has reopened literally today. So if you're in the area, check it out and let me know how it looks. I'm quite curious. I'll be down in London this week for a couple of days, so I'll try to just check it out if I have the chance. So that's everything new for Apple when it comes to this week. Let me know which upcoming Apple product are you excited for the most? Is it the iPhone 17e or the new MacBook Pros, or the budget iPhone 18 Pro MacBook? That's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. So yeah, let me know down below. And stay tuned for more Apple News episodes as soon as more info comes out. And until then, check out our app Wallpapers for some awesome designs for your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. I'm Daniel, this is Zoneoftech, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Zoneoftech, signing out. Cheers.